回ですね、ストーリーを語るにあたって
Resident Evil Revelations is very much an origin story that tells about the start of the BSAA, how and why that organization got formed. In telling this story, we realized we were going to need a lot of different characters, not only the classic characters like Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield, but also some different characters that help tell the background of how this agency got formed. Keith, as you can see, like by his looks, he's kind of a easygoing kind of guy who's quick with a joke. He's very, very handy with a gun and is very, very good at taking care of himself. Quint, on the other hand, is not so much a combat guy, although he can take care of himself. He's more of a situational analyst who's, kind of like finding information in computer systems or about the environment. We worked with a writer named Dai Sato on Resident Evil Revelations. He's a very, very accomplished and famous writer in Japan. He's worked on Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo. He really helped us out in coming up with a really, really interesting story. We're certainly a lot of fans really do like that old classic kind of slower paced Resident Evil horror. And so that's definitely something we wanted to focus on with Resident Evil Revelations. The main area and the main story takes place on this ship, but kind of the entire story, to tell the entire story, chapter by chapter, we'll be going to a lot of different places and seeing a lot of different characters and playing with a lot of different characters, which is something that you haven't really seen too much in other Resident Evil games, and it makes for something unique to the series, and also it increases the scope and the scale of the game as well, and it's something that we think fans of the series are going to find really interesting. Raid mode, which we announced today, is a completely separate mode from the campaign mode. You can play it single player or cooperatively two player with a friend. You can play it locally via the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection or over the internet to play with someone halfway around the world. What Raid mode allows us to do is to provide a completely different experience than the horror-focused scenario mode. Raid mode is very much focused on action and kind of killing a lot of enemies quickly, and also it provides that kind of extra incentive to keep playing the game after you're done with the story, which I think Resident Evil fans have come to expect. There's really a lot of fun to be had unlocking new items and weapons, and it really makes for a very, very replayable experience. Resident Evil Revelations is going to be coming out February 7th, 2012, exclusively for the Nintendo 3DS. It also supports the Nintendo 3DS Circle Pad Pro. I think you're really going to enjoy this game.